Spider-Man is always known as this good guy who always wants to do the right thing, but let me tell you something, that is not true when he is wearing the symbiote suit. But to find out why the symbiote suit is such a big threat, we have to go back to Secret Wars issue 8, the symbiote suit's first appearance. So in that issue, Spider-Man finds the symbiote suit and makes it his new suit. Yeah, that's it. But here's the thing, that was Spider-Man's suit for 4 years. What? But then the Fantastic Four did some tests on it, and they found out it was alive, so Spider-Man decided to not wear it anymore. But the thing is, after that, he didn't have a suit, so Human Torch made one. And that is how he got the beautiful, bombastic Bagman suit. Thank you, Human Torch! But when you think of stuff like the Spectacular Spider-Man show, you know that the symbiote is always evolving, making Spidey angrier. But originally, that was not the case. The black suit was just a suit that Spidey would wear, and people called it the black suit. That was basically it. But that wasn't until the 90s, where there was a new Spider-Man show called Spider-Man. Pretty cool. But anyways, in their 3-part finale, it was all about the symbiote suit, how it was more violent. And that even gave us this meme.
Get back here, Shocker! Shocker! You can't escape me! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
And over the course of the last 3 episodes, Spider-Man just got progressively angrier and angrier until Venom took over the role, but we'll get into that later. Now, because of the animated show, sometimes in comics, Spider-Man would be like, I wasn't myself when I was wearing the symbiote, but he was! Now, I want to get into 2 different adaptations of the symbiote suit. Now, the first one is my personal favorite iteration of the symbiote of all time. It is Spectacular Spider-Man. Now, this is my personal favorite on-screen version of Spider-Man, and part of that reason is because of the symbiote arc. Part of the reason why Spectacular Spider-Man had the best symbiote arc is because you could see the change in the suit when Spider-Man got angrier. His suit would just keep on changing for the 3 episodes. And this arc goes on for the rest of the show because of how much the symbiote suit affected Peter with his family and stuff like that. I mean, out of this, you got the Chameleon and the Sinister Six, so I mean, what's there to argue about? So, yeah, that's basically it for the Spectacular Spider-Man. But for the next one, it is not as good. Well, everyone, we are talking about the symbiote suit in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Now, I've made an entire video talking about the symbiote suits in this game, but some of my older videos don't age that well, and it was part of a series, so we're just gonna do it again. So you know how I've told you how there's like build up for the symbiote suit? Well, in this game, Spider-Man's normal Spider-Man, and then he's super mad Spider-Man, that's it. There is not any sign of progression. Spider-Man just gets angry, that's it. And overall, I was disappointed in the Marvel Spider-Man 2 story. Like, I think that the first game has one of the greatest Spider-Man stories of all time, but the second one, not so much. The main problem of the symbiote suit is there wasn't that much time that we spent with it. I mean, Spidey only wore it for the 2nd act. That's it. Meanwhile, in the cartoons, we have 3 episodes, and in the Spider-Man 3 movie, we get like 2 acts with it. It's all about time, and honestly, they might have rushed to put this game out because of the Miles Morales game. The Miles game might have taken a lot of resources, so they had to rush on Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now listen, I could be wrong, but I mean, in the game, they don't have DLC, there's no anything, so it could be a possibility. Now, I said I would only talk about 2 symbiote adaptations, but I want to talk about Spider-Man 3. Now, Spider-Man 3, I think, is a very underrated movie, and part of that reason is because of the symbiote suit. The suit is just done so well, mainly because of the dance. But all jokes aside, it was a very good adaptation. Now, stuff like Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man the Animated Series, and Spectacular Spider-Man have time, so they do the symbiote suit really good, but Marvel Spider-Man 2, it does not have that time. And it's crazy to see how much these projects actually strayed away from the comics, because the comics never did this stuff. But anyways, with all that Spider-Man talk aside, it's time to get to the next part of the video, which is all about Venom. Now, Venom is, of course, one of Spider-Man's most popular villains. Or is he an anti-hero? I don't know! Now, Venom has had a lot of adaptations. In the Venom movies, he's a loser. In Spectacular Spider-Man, he's someone who's grown up with Peter Parker and calls him bro. And in the comics, he's an extremely buff dude. Now, if you're above the age of 3 months, you probably know that Eddie Brock got the symbiote after Spider-Man. Now, Venom can do a lot of things Spider-Man can do, like web sling, uses web shooters, but he also can create stuff like tendrils. And also, I forgot to say this, but the symbiote has a lot of weaknesses. Now, one of those weaknesses is sound. Yeah, he doesn't really like loud noises, so I guess he's not going to any concerts. So if Venom is on about and trying to kill you, just go to a concert, you'll be safe there. And one of his other weaknesses is heat. Yeah, he doesn't really like hot stuff. Man, if only the firefighters had actual fire, then we would not be cooked. Well, that's Venom for you. And finally, at the end of the video, it is time to talk about the creator of the symbiotes, which is Null. Yup, it's time to talk about Null. And remember that sword that Gore had in Thor: Love and Thunder? Well, in the comics, that was created by Null. Oh, and don't you worry, in the comics, he is not as boring as he was in Venom: The Last Dance. Don't worry. And also, Null is still a new character. Null was introduced in 2018. Yeah, he's basically the only popular character who's been released in the last 10 years, so thanks, Null. Yeah, but the only really popular story that Null's been in is King in Black, which is fire, so yeah. And Null's created other symbiotes like Carnage, Toxin, Scream, and a whole lot more. So after all that, we can now explain why the symbiotes are so cool in Marvel. They have different personalities, they're iconic, and all that cool stuff. And also, I only talked about 3 characters, and there's tons of more symbiotes. Like, I think that Carnage is one of the coolest symbiotes of all time, which you probably know that because he's a super popular Spider-Man villain, but still, I just love how he's a crazy guy and has almost no morals. Well, before I do my outro, I actually have a Letterboxd account, so if you want to see me review movies, go follow me on that. But anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out!